This is a presentation about how writing can be a powerful expression of citizenship. We'll also discuss a few models of citizenship and how writing can be an expression of each. The question is, what specific potentials can writing help to enact when the writer is a citizen? First, we'll consider three possible models of civic engagement: being both informed and involved, service to the community, and service as activism. Being informed and involved is a traditional definition of civic engagement. In some sense, you could think of it as the ground floor, since it involves a lot of practices that are integral to our ideas about citizenship. Informing oneself to be prepared to participate in mainstream political processes like mass meetings, registering to vote, voting, attending government meetings such as your city or town council, or writing to your congressional representatives. People who see their citizenship as extending beyond the traditional be informed and involved model often seek to find some way to participate in community service. Sometimes this means serving in settings of which you're already a part. Sometimes it means trying to find a way to help with a social issue with which you're concerned. You might feel, for instance, concerned about overcrowded elementary classrooms and volunteer to assist in a classroom. Or you might, as a parent, want to be involved in your children's school's community council or PTA. You might want to volunteer for an organization that serves the poor, such as a pantry or food bank. You might want to be involved in projects that involve environmental cleanup. The idea of service learning draws to a greater or lesser extent from this idea of volunteerism, with the added component that the learner, while serving, practices reflection, which aids him or her in discovering what he or she has learned from the service, about the social situation, the organization, the people, and so on. Practitioners of service learning do not always agree on what the nature of the service should be. Service can be simply showing up to do what the organization or community partner defines as the greatest need. But is it also service to think beyond the immediate need, to ask about the root of the social problem, and then perhaps to try to do something about that? These dilemmas are at the heart of community service as an expression of civic engagement, and the two ideas are not, of course, mutually exclusive. I've put a link above to President and Mrs. Obama's recent call to service to show how this idea of civic engagement has a very powerful presence at the moment. Civic engagement as activism takes the previous model one step further. Activists put their energies into trying to change what they see as fundamental wrongs. Activists may serve in the community in some pretty traditional ways, but may also feel called upon to dissent from the status quo, or to take direct actions such as protests or demonstrations. I hope that you can imagine many ways that writing can be involved in nearly every model of civic engagement. Writing is a way to put your beliefs and values into action. If you are concerned about issues of food security, you might want to show up for an organization that helps people who have little food security. But you may also want to write letters or draft petitions about this issue. You may even get involved in that organization enough that you could help in writing documents that take things further. Press releases to publicize the issue or the organization or its events. Someone writes the referendums and initiatives that create or change laws. Someone writes the proposals for funding. Someone helps to set up debates and town hall meetings using writing to do it, and so on. There are so many kinds of civic engagement, and all of them can be practiced, at least in part, through writing. What do you think civic engagement is? What kind of civic engagement do you practice or want to practice? The video above shows an organization that seeks to use new social media to promote civic engagement. Pay particular attention to the manifesto from personaldemocracy.org. It contains a call to greater civic engagement through these specific forms of writing. What use could you make of social media platforms like blogs or Facebook or YouTube to express your own civic engagement?